How you feeling here on a Thursday?
Fantastic. Thursday, I'm a little thirsty. Mm-hmm. I was thirsty on Thursdays.
They both start with TH, so we're off and running, baby. Let's go.
Let me know what you got for me.
Don't know what's. You don't wear red often.
I don't. No.
This is new.
It's a little bit of a Baywatch. It's my Yasmin Bleeth tribute. I'm into it. Kay, you're doing the G.I. Jane, and I got the Yasmin Bleeth.
Yasmin Bleeth makes her way into the equation. Early, it's time for the lead block.
Lead block!
Eagles, Patriots, they've been holding joint practices all week ahead of tonight's action right here on NFL Network. Got a little taste of Cam Newton and Mac Jones in preseason week 1. Neither quarterback, as you can see, has really had that dominant showing or highlight play. But we are getting another look tonight. No touchdowns, no interceptions. That's always a great thing. We have Mac Jones leading 5 drives to Cam Newton's 2. We're going to keep our eyes on that quarterback battle right up until week 1. The preseason is about the entire roster, though. What do we need to see? Where should my eyes be watching this one on the Niffle tonight, KB?
Number 10, Mac Jones. Let's go. Take control of this thing. I'm ready. Let's start it. I'm getting stir crazy with all these guys, be it Mac Jones or Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I would love just a shock and awe from Mac tonight. I mean that. I'm talking 2 touchdowns. He goes 9 for 11, looks sharp. He runs a little bit. I'm ready for this to start. And, I was thinking about this. He wasn't handed the job at Alabama either. He competed there. He had to fight for that job. When's the last time Cam Newton has been in a position to fight for a quarterback job? Long time. It was as a Florida Gator backing up Tim Tebow with John Brantley. Yeah. That was 2008, I think. Mac Jones did this about a year ago, and I also think there's similarity because if you've watched Mac over the last couple of years, Alabama football, you got Tua, he's incredible and electric, and even Jalen Hurts is so fun to watch, and then it's like, Mac Jones? This guy who takes the unflattering shirtless picture with the beer belly? There's also some of that going on now. The optics of Cam as an MVP, he's a massive athlete. Mac Jones? Yes, Mac Jones. I would love nothing better than if we start the Friday show in this very same moment, 7:03 Eastern, and we have a table that says, it's Mac's job now. And then Sean and Peter says, no. And Kay and I want to fight you guys based on what Mac does tonight. It's his second game he's returning. If only there was a song about Mac's return. We can work on it. If someone knows one, tweet us.
Never heard one.
Yeah, and they will. People will get fish hooked by that and be, what do you mean? Return of the Mac.
Never heard it?
That's how people are. Always.
Oh, that's great stuff. Look, I love that you're bringing up the body type of the quarterback. Haven't we been through this before?
Yes.
The Tom Brady photo from the combine that we're not allowed to show anymore.
Oh, now he's comparing Mac Jones to Tom Brady.
You're talking about Mac Jones' body type. Look, I think when you look at Cam Newton and this offense, of course, we're all watching the quarterback. I want to see some vertical throws. If you go back to that first preseason game, it was a lot of checkdowns, a lot of passes to the running backs, a lot of dump-offs. Cam didn't, look, he got 2 series. He didn't do a whole lot. So I want to see the vertical passing game. But with that comes pass protection.
All right.
You want to throw the ball down the field, you better protect your boy. And on the 3rd play of the game, Peter Schrager loves him some Chase Young, talking about he might break Strahan's sack record. Well, look, he almost got there for the sack, but look at this move right here.
No, Nate
and
Wilson
just
said
drills Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton's 250, 260 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, he took him down, rather easily there, and that's what you don't want to see. So, my eyes, Kay, aside from the quarterback, I'm watching Isaiah Wynn. He's going up against Derek Barnett from the Eagles. The Eagles have some studs up front. Derek Barnett, I have yet to see him have a pass rush where his hands aren't in the middle of somebody's sternum, driving him back into the quarterback. So that's going to be a good matchup to watch. But I'm also going to be watching for this Patriots defense because guess what? They led the league in interceptions last year, and they went out and signed a guy named Matt Judon. Huge free agent acquisition. The last time the Patriots signed a big free agent, was it Gilmore? I go back to Dalius Thomas from Baltimore, and yet this guy is a game changer.
What do you think of the red?
He's wearing number
sleeves.
9 right now. Totally different look for him. He's juiced up. I can't wait to see what he brings to this defense because the one thing that they have really seriously lacked for a number of years is just a pass rusher that on 3rd down you have to account for. Someone you have to find a way to take out of the game. And I think for Judon, look, they just had some joint practices. Word is he had an interception on Jalen Hurts, ran it back for a touchdown, somersaulted into the end zone.
Okay.
So apparently he's dropping back in coverage too.
I'm into it.
He's got a single digit. He's wearing number 9. He's wearing these red sleeves. It's almost like he's a superhero out there. You don't see that from a defensive end, and it's going to be cool to watch Judon. All right, it's August 19th. Yeah. These guys have been practicing and hitting every day, and they've been having these joint practices. And of all the people to say, let's go on a field trip this week, who would be the least likely coach to say, guys, let's get on the bus, let's go on a field trip?
Mike Zimmer.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick said to the Patriots this week, let's go on a field trip. So where would you go? They're practicing the Eagles. Would you go to like a Philly cheesesteak place?
Liberty Bell.
Go to see the Liberty Bell, maybe the Franklin Institute. I don't know if that still exists. That's where we went when I was a kid in Jersey.
King of Prussia Mall.
Maybe.
Yay.
They went
Prussia Mall.
They went to Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Oh, I love it.
Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Bill Belichick took the Patriots to NFL Films.
Great.
NFL, and not only did they go to NFL Films, I have a photograph here.
You do?
I'm going to show you this. This
What do you
is
got?
some inside stuff here. Do you remember the old head coach of the Detroit Lions? Do you know who that
That's
is?
Matt Patricia?
Maddie.
That's Matt Patricia.
Wow.
At the Good Morning Football Studios.
What a cutie.
With the Emmy Awards from the NFL. And it wasn't just Patricia. Belichick was there. Josh McDaniels was there. Everyone was walking through. Patricia, shout out to his kids, Dominic, Dante, and Gia, who watch our show.
Yeah.
Was like, it was a thrill to be in the Good Morning Football Studios.
Not the Ed Sable Theater.
Not the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Yeah, right.
But the Good Morning Football Theater. Right. To be like, wow, this is where Mike Robinson once played Who Said That on the Weekend Show. Like, Belichick was in there. But this is cool. To me, this shows that the Patriots are like, let's do something a little different. Like, that's not what you would expect from the New England Patriots. But they all went. They got the tour, the Night at the Museum tour that they always give at NFL Films, where it's, we're going to show you where things are at night. And here's Steve Sable's office and the whole thing.
I love that.
And I like that because it breaks up the monotony and it breaks up everything. And while they were in our backyards, the NFL Films people probably see, like, is that Bill Belichick? Yes, Bill Belichick. Now they are playing the Eagles this weekend, or today, and we're going to see the team. But I like these little breakups in between training camp. I know, Sean, if I'm not mistaken, one of the most famous things from your 2007 Giants team was a bowling trip right in the middle of camp. Is that true? Can you tell that story briefly?
Yeah, 100%. Team bowling trip. We go to the bowling alley, and it's like, all right, this is one of those gimmicks where coach is trying to get you to bond. And then TC got out on the lane. And he started kicking the leg out.
Coughlin.
And he got into it. And he's over there hanging out with the boys. It was a good time. I'll say this, for the Patriots and Belichick to go to NFL Films, he's a historian of the game.
Yeah.
He loves that. And guess what? You can stand up there and talk about all the greats that came before you, the coaches, the players. When you go down to NFL Films, you feel the spirit in that building. To this day, when I walk in there, I stop at every hallway and you look at the pictures. You look at, oh my gosh, look at this guy. I mean, you're seeing the legends of the game, and to walk into there and see Steve Sable's office still intact, the way that it is.
And there's posters, there's specific ones of Belichick, even in the hallway leading into that Good Morning Football studio. There's certainly some upstairs, the Malcolm Butler interception. I think that's a big poster in that hallway up there. So very cool to see. They usually do they've done bowling. I think they always go see a Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yes.
Up there in Foxborough.
Ted 3?
They always do something, but this is something extra. And for them to do that on the road at a joint practice is incredible. Quickly, I'll add wide receivers. I am desperate to find something good out of one of these wide receivers, mainly their first-round pick, N'Keal Harry, who has 400 yards over the last 2 seasons. You've got to do something. The team is desperate for someone to emerge as the #1 receiver. If Mac Jones is going to take over at some point, it's going to be hard to have success as a pocket passer without somebody to believe in. It's like when you like somebody, Kyle, and you have a crush and they don't really like you back, but you'll hang on to anything. A 30-yard bomb, a screen pack, whatever. Give me something to hold on to. I am desperate to love somebody. I think this receiving core might be like 30th, 31st, 32nd in the National Football League going into the season. So that's what I'm keeping my eyes on tonight. New
Something
England.
to believe in.
Yes. Great.
Yes, it
is it up against Philadelphia at the Link there at Lincoln Financial Field? Let's talk about another team that has joint practices. The Jets and the Packers, they are hanging out all week ahead of their preseason Week 2 game on Saturday right here on NFL Network. Take a look at Zach Wilson learning from the best, Aaron Rodgers. Here's what the Jets rookie had to say about the reigning MVP just yesterday.
We're all technically at the same level now. We're all in the NFL, but it's like we all still kind of like, you know what, that's Aaron Rodgers. You know, it's kind of crazy. He's a cool guy. You know, he came up to me, and I've talked to him before in the past, and you know, he's got a lot of knowledge. He's a smart dude. And he knows what's going on out there. So it's cool to just kind of ask him about footwork. You know, what's going on the field, and you know what he's seeing, and you know, it's you know, if I could spend more time with him, and just keep asking questions, I would.
How do you feel about Zach Wilson the script says fanboying. I don't really want to say that.
It's funny, fanboying has this whole connotation. It's like
It's not very positive.
No, but like I actually look at it as there's like a big bro, little bro thing going on here, and there's the shot of them. They both wear headbands. They look like from that video game Bad Dudes. Remember that? It was funny.
Yeah.
It goes way back too. Like there's a certain cockiness that Zach Wilson has that I think can be good. I remember when he was at BYU, still doing his college thing. He had this whole thing where he came out and made fun of Rodgers' chin strap, like in the middle of an MVP season, and said he has no swag. And then Rodgers goes on McAfee and fires back saying, a college kid took a shot at my swag. And they're having a whole back and forth while he's at BYU. Then he's apologizing, didn't mean to offend you. They've also talked a lot away from football. They talked when Wilson's coming to the league about what agent should I hire and all this. There's a whole brotherhood here, and if you're going to have someone who's your guy, like you could pick a million guys. Rodgers is a great guy to have. 16 years in, and a little bit of that icy cockiness that Rodgers has goes a long way. A little worried that Wilson might have a little too much, but I like seeing that he has any.
Rodgers said back to him, some college kid. He was like, some college kid, and he said, swag isn't having a Supreme backpack.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all for Wilson talking and groveling over Aaron Rodgers and how cool it is, because I think the quarterback fraternity within itself, it's a special group, and they treat each other differently. I'm just going to reflect a little bit on Aaron Rodgers, though. He's got different perspective for all this. Think about when he got drafted, and he comes to the Green Bay Packers, and he's sitting behind Brett Favre. And he comes in, and he's like, man, this is unbelievable. I had to wait a long time to get here, but here I am, and I get to play with this guy. I don't know how well Brett treated him right out of the gate.
Right.
Like, I think that there might have been a little, like, early on, it was kind of like a little do-si-do, and, how are we going to handle this? And I think Aaron Rodgers, eventually they came around to it. They had that kind of awkward moment, like coming together. I think it was at the ESPYs.
Yeah,
where
sure.
It was finally
that was years
later.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers, because of that, has some perspective to the legacy that he's leaving behind. He's aware of all that. We all know he's in his Zen mode. And for him, he knows, look, for Zach Wilson, I know this guy, look, he knows who I am, and he watches film. He wants to be like me.
Yeah.
I want to leave something for him that he could say, you know what, I learned that from AR.
I started covering the league when Rodgers was young and Favre was still there, and I remember you would hear just like dispatches, almost like in the wind, that like Rodgers had a pass today. So the number 2s, and it was on the scout team.
But
this kid did something that like, don't talk about it, but like Brett's our guy, but like. And they're at these joint practices, and I'm told that the Packers are kind of like dominating the Jets. Like the Jets have a very young team; it's very one-sided. Yeah. But yesterday's practice, and I heard this from the Packers side, it'll take some time. But Wilson had a couple passes today that were insane. Like that, even people are talking. That
the trees are talking out there.
It might be a while till it all comes together. But like, there's one. I think there's a little similarity in that they both have that arm power and that arm strength and the weird arm angle. And whatever you say about Wilson, this year might be rough because they are young. But he'll have one or two of those where you're like, wait, what was that? And that's what Rodgers was.
I love that. You hear whispers across the